I'm going to walk you through the whole process of moving my boat come moving day. You see, the thing is, the Canal and River Trust asks you to move on every 2 weeks at a maximum, and it asks you to move on to a new district so you are carrying out a genuine journey. And what in practice that means is go a sensible distance, at least 1 kilometre, and don't take the mickey, go to a different place, and don't take up all the good moorings for months at a time. So let's have a look at that process. The first thing I need to do is I'm going to fill my water tank, and that's because I'm then going to use the engine to recharge the batteries while I'm moving, so it's a good time to use up some of the batteries on the pump, which means that I need to turn the inverter on and have some 240 volts for a bit. So let's wait for the inverter to fire up. There we go, and now we'll go and fill the water tank. Okay, here we are at the front of the boat. The water filter system is out. The filter is in the canal. The hose is, for the moment, pointing out over the side of the boat. And the mains power is on and plugged in. That's the wall. Let's wait for some water to come out. And we'll just give it, a little flush through. Get rid of some of the worst of it. I think that'll do. And we can leave that filling up the tank for 10 or 15 minutes whilst I sort out the rest of the boat. Okay, the next job is to convert my rear deck from a clothes drying cabin into a rear deck, so let's do that. Right, and then it's time to take the cabin pram hood down. I know people can and do cruise with it up, but there's some low bridges in Milton Keynes and I paid a lot of money for it, so I quite don't want to scrape on the roof, so we're going to take it all down and then we'll be ready to go. Right, and that's the rear deck ready. Let's go on with the rest of the preparation. Okay, the next step is to switch off the water filter and get that put away, and then we'll be nearly ready to go. Alright, my next task is to start the engine. It hasn't been started for a week, so it may well be a bit challenging to start, so let's have a go and see. The engine is started, so the next task is to go and unmoor and lift up all of the fenders, and then we can get going. Right, it's time to get going. Now, I don't know if you can see or not, but you might notice that my tiller does not in fact have a tiller handle. That is because I've taken it off and taken it up to Yorkshire, where my sister lives, and she, being an expert wood turner, has kindly agreed to make me a new one which is slightly less scabby. So that's what's happening there. In the meantime, I'm steering just with the brass tube. Ah well. So we're not going terribly far today. I would suggest maybe a mile and a half, 2 miles, something like that. We're going to go over we're going to go through Wolverton, we're going to go over the Grafton Street Aqueduct, and then I think probably stop somewhere near Stantonbury, and then I'll explain the process by which I get back to my car and retrieve it. I will do is stop straight after these boats and then come to a stop and moor myself up. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go into the side of the bank, put it into reverse, which pushes the stern out from the side of the bank. So I'm hoping to get a turn on first, so the boat is turning, and then the reverse will counteract that turn. That's the idea anyway. Okay, so that's us moored up, and now what we need to do is we need to stop the engine. Okay, and then the final thing we need to do, to be all ready, is to put up the canopy again. So let's get that. And there we are, it's done. But we're not quite done yet because I now have to go back and get my car. So that's the next car. Now it's only a couple of miles back, so I could walk back to it. But, you know, I'm incredibly lazy. And that is why I'm going to be using this teeny tiny electric bike. So I'll get that unlocked and out, and then we will proceed back to the car. Okay, here is the beast. Let's get it started up. Lovely. And get on our way. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, back at my horrid old car and all ready to drive back via the supermarket to the boat. I hope you enjoyed that. I shall see you next time. If you enjoy these videos, please do like and subscribe. Goodbye.